Hello and welcome to the second floor of the Duncan Student Center for this episode of Shamrock Sports. I'm Elise Dohoney here with Tyler Reidy and Jake Irons. How are we doing today, guys?
Doing great, and if you saw my NDTV weather report earlier this week, you know that fall's in the air. We got some cloudy skies. It's feeling good here. Feels like football, and we're going to talk about it plenty here today.
Definitely are. How about you, Jake? You ready?
Dude, I'm ready. I'm more ready for Elise Dohoney on Shamrock Sports. What? Did we get hit by the flu? No, they're all traveling, so it's going to be fun. And it's a great time. We're ready to roll.
For sure. But guys, I'm really excited to be here today because we have a great game tomorrow at noon with the Irish taking on NC State. Should be a big game. Should also be pretty much the first test for this Irish team. What are we looking forward to tomorrow?
Why is this game important? Yeah, I'm excited for it. Notre Dame should be tested early on. You know, Navy and Tennessee State, we saw Notre Dame perform well, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but this is a Power 5 team. This is a traditionally formidable ACC opponent in NC State. Notre Dame will be challenged early on. Wolfpack have already gone into a somewhat tough environment in UConn. UConn can be a testy program, testy school on the road, but NC State went in and picked up a 24-14 victory last week, and now we'll try and knock off Notre Dame in a noon game that should feature a pretty solid environment in Raleigh at Carter-Finley Stadium.
100%. Jake?
I think it's going to be interesting once you get. However, 24-10 against the UConn Huskies, I understand Jim Moore is in there saying, let's go Bull team. That's really not a confident win in my opinion. I'm a nutmegger in state, and once again, that UConn football team for NC State, you shouldn't only be winning by 10 against this UConn team. So for them to be that close, that intrigues me. But the biggest thing for this Irish team though right now is going to be, can you control Armstrong on the ground? It's not like we haven't already seen him. He's the former UVA guy, so if you've been following the ACC, you know him. He was strong there with the Cavaliers. He was fabulous for him last year. But now the question is, coming into a new system for the Wolfpack, will he be able to be controlled? And that's the biggest thing. His ground game is so potent. And can you keep him in the pocket? That's going to be really big.
And on the flip side as well, you know, Notre Dame with Sam Hartman, he's traditionally struggled at NC State. 6 interceptions in 2-3 career games for him. NC State's got a solid front 7. They can get after you, and Sam Hartman did not face much pressure at all playing behind that fantastic Notre Dame offensive line through the first 2 weeks, but NC State could give him some trouble early on. The question is, can Notre Dame allow Sam Hartman to not be a volume passer, which he was at Wake Forest, and that in large part created a lot of the interception woes? Can Notre Dame run the football, help him out a little bit, ease him into a tougher environment? Not like he'll need it because he's been so experienced through these now 6 years in college football, but if Notre Dame can run the ball and play defense as well, they'll be in good shape to help him out and ease his concerns against this defense.
For sure. Jake, what do we think? Sam Hartman, is he the real thing?
I think he is right now. I think when you look at Sam Hartman, there is something to be said about this quarterback right now. He is, in fact, the real deal. No matter what way you say it, he hasn't punted. And people are going to sit up here, and I'm not going to say, you're playing Navy and Tennessee State. Both of them aren't great opponents. Let's just cut it right there. They aren't. But it's what you're able to do right here. Tennessee State, under 50 seconds left to go in that first half. It is methodical, 6 for 6. This is what? It does not matter who you're playing with. It is the urgency. And you look at this 2-minute drill. These are quick, crisp passes right to the outside, get out of bounds. This is methodical, this is thought out, and this is what makes Sam Hartman the real deal. We haven't punted with Sam Hartman on the field. It's a field goal or a touchdown. There's only 2 options right now, and I don't know if that's going to stop with him out there, especially going up against an NC State team that, let's also look at the numbers here, folks. We got highlighter too, first time back since freshman year.
On the air now.
Don't worry. 28 ACC straight games. Notre Dame has 1.
There you go.
Is NC State an ACC team?
Yep.
They are indeed. So I think they're making it 29 on Saturday. And I'm getting to it early, but I really do think.
He's very excited.
When you look at this team and look at how good Sam Hartman is, there is no reason why people should not be high on Sam Hartman. I even think he might be in the conversation for a little trophy that Notre Dame has a couple of.
Well, here's where I'm at with Sam. My question with him, and I think he's done a good job of answering this with how experienced he's been, and Marcus Freeman has attested to it with Hartman's ability to come to the sideline after maybe a misread, misthrow, and say, hey, we're all right. We're going to get right back to it, and we're going to get the job done. But can Hartman respond to adversity within this Notre Dame offense? Because, against Navy, against Tennessee State, adversity might look like a series where you don't execute the right way or something like that. Against NC State, you throw an interception, you have a 3-and-out, maybe a punt for the first time like you alluded to. Can he respond and get back on the same page with his largely unproven receiving core? That's the big question for me with Sam Hartman. I think he can answer it, but it remains to be seen.
For sure. Definitely a lot to watch this Saturday. But moving on from Saturday, what about Sunday? It is the first week of the NFL season, which I know we are all pumped for. Like you said, we are ready right into fall right now. We sent Kian, Ben, and Trey to tell us what do they think we should be looking for this season. So over to you guys.
Thanks, guys. With the NFL season kicking off this weekend, myself, Trey Cotty, and Ben War are going to take it up a level and talk about some pro football analysis and what team each of us think will shock the world this NFL season. Not going to be the Bengals because everyone knows Joe Shiesty, Super Bowl or bust. Super Bowl champions confirmed. In my opinion, the Packers will shock the NFL world this year because unlike the AFC, the NFC is no clear-cut contender due to the Eagles getting a lot weaker on defense and the Vikings losing Dalvin Cook and proving that they cannot win any big games. Despite losing Rodgers and Adams and Tanyan, the Packers still have a tremendous elite offensive pieces. First off, they have Jordan Love, first-round pick out of Utah State, who's an unproven gunslinger. Then they have physical, elusive, and speedy running back Aaron Jones, who led the NFL in touchdowns in 2019 and who has had 1,000-yard seasons in the past 3 out of 4 years. Then at the receiver position, the Packers have second-round pick and second-year player who shocked the world last year, Christian Watson, who has established himself as a Jamar Chase-like deep threat with yak potential and ability. And then, due to his extreme height and strength, he has the hands, route running, and ability and strength of Julio Jones, a tremendous wide receiver. Then the Packers have 3-time Pro Bowler and 3-time second-team All-Pro and 2-time first-team All-Pro left tackle David Bakhtiari to protect Jordan Love from Aiden Hutchinson and Danielle Hunter in the division, and then other tremendously elite defensive linemen. And then the Packers snagged a linebacker in the first round, selecting Luca Van Ness with the 13th pick in the NFL draft, and then they still have 2-time All-Pro cornerback, fresh off a 5-interception season, Jair Alexander, who will take a Buda Baker role with elite production on the field and elite leadership in the locker room to elevate the entire defense single-handedly towards greatness.
The team I believe that will shock the world this year is the Dolphins. However, not in a positive way. Sorry to the Finns faithful out there, but the schedule for the Dolphins is absolutely brutal. Chargers week 1, obviously you've got the Bills and the Jets twice. You've got Kansas City and Germany, and you're at Baltimore late. Absolutely brutal schedule for the Dolphins here. Second of all, you need Tua to be absolutely money. But if Tua can't get it there, that's really going to end their season. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? Another huge question for the team. And then on the defensive side, they bring in Vic Fangio, which is an absolute plus, but his defensive systems often take a few weeks to get settled in. They might lose a few games early due to this. Also, Jalen Ramsey was their big defensive add of the offseason, and now it's unclear if he'll even play this season.
One team I would look out for this upcoming season is the Baltimore Ravens. The FC North has the potential to be a top 2 or 3 division in the NFL this year, and the Ravens offense puts them in a good position to win their division and make a deep playoff push. The additions of Rockison and Trayvon Mullen significantly boost their secondary, adding to a defense that ranked 3rd last year in points per game allowed. But more exciting for Ravens fans is the new and improved offense. New offensive coordinator Todd Monken has shown so far that Lamar Jackson will have a lot of freedom and control over the new offense, and with the offseason additions of Odell Beckham Jr. in free agency and Zay Flowers as a first-rounder out of Boston College, Lamar has the most weapons on offense he may have ever had as an NFL quarterback. Not to mention that Lamar is fresh off of an offseason where he inked a long-term contract extension. If Lamar can stay healthy, he could return to his MVP-like form of 2019. Right now, most sportsbooks have the Ravens at about plus 250 to win the division, with the Bengals at about plus 140. But with a happy Lamar, a refurbished offense, and plenty of depth at wide receiver, the Ravens could certainly be the winner of their division and a contender to come out of the AFC.
All right, and that's all for myself, Ben Rohr, and Trey Cotti. To figure out if we're right, we'll just have to wait and see on those Sundays. But for now, on this Friday, let's go back to you guys in the studio to talk about some Irish football. Hooday and go Irish!
Thank you, guys. And actually, since that segment was filmed, we got some news that Packers wide receiver Christian Watson out with a hamstring injury. Definitely a lot to watch this season. But turning back to college sports, we are on a college campus. Guys, we're not just talking about the Irish here. Who are we watching throughout all of college football this weekend?
Well, the story in college football right now, I think across the nation, is Colorado with brand new head coach, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders leading the Buffaloes. They went down to 17th ranked TCU and shocked the house. TCU was a 20.5-point favorite. Colorado went in there and won 45-42, but now they get into one of those old school rivalry matchups with their foes from the East, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, who also have a new head coach with high expectations in Matt Rule. Last week, Nebraska went up to Minnesota on a Thursday night in their Big Ten opener, looked good through the first three quarters, playing great defense, up 10-3, but then a late interception and a game-winning field goal sunk the Huskers. So now they're looking for a bounce back. Colorado looking to stay hot and prove to the country, which includes some skeptics, that they belong in the nation's top 25. They've got a chance to do it and get off to a 2-0 start. These are two very hungry programs with a lot of storylines coming in.
For sure. Jake, who are we looking at?
Come on, is there even one game that you don't even, like, everyone, if you're a college football fan, you know what game you're watching. It's on prime time. It's with Chris Fowler. It's with Kirk Herbstreit. It's Texas. It's Alabama.
Yeah.
There's no other one you want to talk about. There was already a precursor earlier in last season, and it is the game to watch. You want to talk about good football, this is going to be the game for you, because when you're looking at two teams, and maybe Alabama has some rooting interest if you're Notre Dame, you got, I don't know, Tommy Rees down there, and maybe the man himself, Tyler Buckner. Oh boy, I know, I said it. So this game got a lot of rooting interest. I'm saying horns up. Let's go. Horns up. I got Texas. I got Texas. That's not a penalty anymore. No flag. No flag anymore. Let's go. Horns up. I'm excited for that game. It's going to be a lot of fun on ESPN.
100%, 100%. But hey, we're entering our favorite part of the show, Sham Bookie, Jake's favorite segment. Guys, who are your dogs this weekend?
Ha! She said dog.
She said it. She said it.
She said dog.
There we go.
Perfect. Let's get our ka-ching out. Let's open up the wallet, because two ill-advised college kids, we are about to advise you on where you should put your money.
There you go.
You want to start?
I think I will. I'm taking you out to the Steel City. There's Jake's pick. Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. A little preview for you going back to Nebraska, Colorado.
Whoa, we don't need to see that yet.
I've got Cincinnati here, plus 7.5 in Pittsburgh. This one's pretty overlooked, not featuring any ranked opponents. I will say, if you're looking for a ranked team to go after, I'm looking for Miami hosting ranked Texas A&M. But this one here, I really like. Cincinnati, I think, is a little bit undervalued by the books here. New head coach, only returning 3 starters on both sides of the ball, but the Bearcats really loaded up in the transfer portal, making this more of a reload season than a rebuild season. Their quarterback, Emory Jones, scored 7 total touchdowns last week, threw for almost 400 yards in the season-opening 66-13 win over Eastern Washington. I think he'll continue his success. The under's definitely going to hit here, but I think he's going to do just enough, and the Bearcats are going to prevail in Pitt.
Yeah.
Giants?
I've got a good one. We're going back to Coach Prime. Let's go. Let's go for the Buffaloes, baby. Why not? They've got it. I think, once again, you have the cover right now at -3. Colorado's blowing that out of the water. Give me the Buffalo. The Pac-12, could they stay undefeated? The downfall of the Pac might be the rise of the current Pac. Well, we'll coin that maybe later. We'll work it. But I think this is a really good game. You looked at Sanders. Nebraska just isn't solid. What we saw in ultimately the blowing of the game against Minnesota, and this Colorado team, what they showed, I understand many people are skeptical about TCU, whether they're the real deal. I think no matter what, you're still looking at a team that just went to the college football playoff a year ago. But now, for right now, this Colorado team, I think their offense is hot. They're going to be able to cover this right now, and I think they also maybe get a defensive point in there as well. Maybe a pick 6.
Ooh.
Don't want to speak it too loud,
Yeah.
but I think it is a really good one as well.
For sure. Well, definitely a lot to watch this weekend.
Whoa, I got one more
got
for you.
more.
I got a bonus pick.
Oh,
Bonus
out of
pick.
the blue,
Hit the
bonus
ka-ching. Hit the ka-ching. I got another one. You want to open up your phone right now because this is a lock. This is a guaranteed lock. Give me Cal. Let's go. The Golden Bears from Berkeley. They were tearing it up against North Texas last weekend. They are living it, and I am loving it. This team right now, I think they are able to cover it. They are a fabulous team. I think many people are a little apprehensive on it, but give me Cal. I think they are a solid team. They know what they're doing.
Thanks, guys.
They are going to cover by a mile. Make it rain. Make it rain.
If you can beat the mean green, you can beat the books, can't you?
Well,
We'll find out.
we're going to find out.
Any more bonus picks?
No, we're done.
I think we're all right.
We're good.
Okay, well then moving on. We have our colleague Sam Kaufman went all the way over to Dublin for the game 2 weeks ago against Navy and had some takes from Dublin. Handed it over to you, Sam.
Thanks, guys. Well, my time on the Emerald Isle was quite incredible. I spoke to so many incredible fans of the Irish and of Navy, but one of the most interesting college football fans I spoke to was the Lord Mayor of Dublin, Dorothy DeRoshi himself. We caught up on Notre Dame Street.
Welcome to Dublin, Ireland, the capital of the Emerald Isle, home of plenty of Guinness, St. Patrick's Cathedral, the historic Trinity College, and much more. And for the last weekend of August, the Fighting Irish themselves. The first game of the 2023 season for Notre Dame and the Naval Academy took place in Dublin, Ireland. The Aer Lingus Classic has brought over college football teams to play Week 0 in Dublin, Ireland for years, and it's not just because of luck. I spoke with the Lord Mayor of Dublin himself to learn his thinking behind the Classic and the recent game of the Fighting Irish. Here's what he had to say.
Zero on college football days. We have a 5-year agreement where game day 0 every year is going to be here. So we've Georgia Tech and Florida State out and are coming next year for this game. And then I know there's plans for more games right up to 2027. And it's growing and growing and growing every year. Last year we had Northwestern and Nebraska. It was a great game. You know, we had a really good fun carnival atmosphere. With the Irish in town, it's after doubling in size again and hopefully continues to grow. Yeah, we also see in recent weeks that the Steelers have made Ireland their home. So obviously Pittsburgh Steelers now are looking to have probably a game in Ireland in the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Which that'd be really, really good. Again, like if Ireland could be the European capital for college football and NFL, I think that's great, you know.
That is quite the vision that the Lord Mayor of Dublin has for the city. When I spoke to him, he said that the game was actually worth 168 million euros to the city. And as you can see, he has such a long-term strategic vision for what college football could bring to Dublin, which I really love, because when we've been having all these discussions, especially in the Notre Dame community, about the changing state of college football back here in the States, the Lord Mayor of Dublin really has an interesting vision for what college football can bring to his city. But that'll do it for me for the Dublin content. Thank you so much for tuning in to all that we have brought you surrounding the game. For Notre Dame Television and on assignment from Dublin, Ireland, I'm Sam Kaufman. Now let's send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Sam. I'm still living off that high from that win in Dublin against Navy. I don't know. We're 2 weeks out almost at this point, but definitely a big win. Now we're moving on to the final home stretch of today's show. We're going to talk about our predictions for this weekend against NC State tomorrow at noon. I think I'll go first. Okay. I had that Irish are winning 42-17.
There you go.
42-17, hey. Big win for the Irish. I'm feeling confident. I'll be watching from home, but I'm feeling confident. Tyler, you're up next. What do we got?
Well, listen very closely, folks, because I was the NDTV winner last week for the Tennessee State game.
He wants his praises.
Myself and Ryan Murphy on top of the leaderboard. But here we go.
Share the leaderboard with Ryan.
That's okay. Hey, we're both on top. Sophomore power, baby. Anyway.
Whoa. Ease up. All right.
We'll get into that leaderboard a little bit more later.
Yes, we will. But Notre Dame at NC State, like I said earlier, Notre Dame's going to be tested a little bit. I think it's going to be one of those games like a Syracuse last year, Virginia Tech back in that undefeated 2018 season, where we know Notre Dame can go on the road and win, but it's a game that you could get tested a little bit, but in reality, Notre Dame should take care of business if they are for real and get it done, and I think they will. The run game's going to get going late. Audric Estime will have himself a nice day. 35-24, Notre Dame is my score.
Wow, nice one.
All right.
35-24. I think that's too much offense. I really do. I think when you're looking at this conditions coming into this weekend. It is going to be raining and there is thunderstorm likely, as what I've heard right now from our own WNDU team here in South Bend. There is high levels of lightning coming in for this game. There will be most likely a lightning delay in this one, as what it looks like on the scheduling with how strong these thunderstorms are. I think right now you're going to look at a little bit of a lower scoring game. It's going to be on the run game. I think Audric Estime breaks out for a couple of touchdown runs, but ultimately I think it's going to stay low scoring. 24-14, I've got the Irish getting it done. That's my big one. However, though, when you look at it, people are saying 98-6 through the 2 games. They haven't let up a touchdown. I don't know. Maybe they don't let up a touchdown. I know if you look at our team leaderboard, there's some people still saying we're not letting up a touchdown, but I really do think this will be the game. I think when you look at Brennan Armstrong, he's too good of a quarterback not to at least put up a touchdown. But hey, look right there.
Yeah, there's our team leaderboard right there. See, Tyler, we put you second.
It's alphabetical. The first and last name. His
Really?
letter comes first.
Look at that. I didn't even think about that.
Hey,
Oh gosh.
don't force those narratives on me. Come on now.
I'm just calling them like I see them. But here's our leaderboard from our whole team in the back right now. You can see we're covering the whole range right now, but definitely an Irish win from NDTV.
Hold on, can we look at that 36-3 from Sam Kaufman? That guy's high on this team.
How are we getting to 36 anyway?
Hopefully we get a couple field goals in there, I hope.
We'll get. He's going to rewrite the rules of the game. We'll get to 36.
Somehow.
Somehow,
We'll get to
some way.
36.
Who knows?
Of course. Well, make sure you're watching the Irish play. NC State tomorrow in Raleigh at noon. Should be a great game, an important game for this Irish team to prove themselves who they are this season. And I think that's all this week.
Really, we got nothing else? I don't have a bonus pick here?
I guess not. I don't know how you do a bonus score prediction.
No bonus pick. No bonus score
picks.
prediction.
No bonus picks. We can't handle that drama right now. That will be it for Shamrock Sports this week. For Tyler Reidy, Jacob Irons, Jake Miller in the back, I'm Elise Dohoney. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.